version 2 of the Civil 3D units configuration, units feature configuration. Alright, in my first video I showed how to manipulate something to where old blocks would come in properly. That still works, except that all those settings have to be set on a per drawing basis. I think I've come up with a solution to where we can set it one time and things just work. It's basically a two-step process, and they've got to be done in order. So let's start the process by running the same AEC DWG setup command that we did before, and make the changes there. So we're in the AEC drawing setup command, and you'll notice that our drawing units are set to feet, which is the way that we had it before. But you'll notice that this checkbox, scale objects inserted from other drawings, is not checked. This is a change. We're going to take that check off, and we're going to put this check here, save as default. I'm thinking that this, alright, here's the supposition behind this. We're trying to make it work like old AutoCAD or vanilla AutoCAD, to where things don't automatically scale. We just know that they're coming from an architect, or they're coming from somebody that uses the feet and inches method of measurement versus just decimal feet. Same way that we've been used to doing it from day one. We think that's preferable to dealing with the scaling and having to touch every old drawing, and we may find out that that's wrong, but right now that's the way that we're going to go with it. So we're not going to have AutoCAD automatically scale things. We'll handle the scale ourselves. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to set it up to where this workstation, I believe, this user for this workstation doesn't have to fool with it again. So like I said, we're taking this check out, we're putting this check in. I don't know that what I'm trying to say is I'm not sure that save as default is set for this workstation as a whole, or if it's just set for this user profile. I'm actually thinking it's set for just this user profile, and that's what the assumption that I'm going to go forth with until I know better. So feet here, don't scale the objects, save as default. Apply and OK. Now the reason I ran that one first, and the reason that these two steps have to be done in order, is right here. When you type the units command, well, maybe it's because I didn't make a change, but when you make the AEC DWG setup config or setup changes, by default it changes this right here as well to be feet. Okay? This right here is the difference between having to touch all of our old drawings and not having to touch our old drawings. If you set this to Unitless and you have that check off, then as best we can tell, it works like vanilla AutoCAD. Now, like I said, that may come back to bite us. We may be doing the wrong thing. We may find out in the next version that we should have went the other way. But for right now, this is the way that we're going to handle it. In addition, there's one other change that I made, and I made it to our ACAD Lisp routine, which we've carried over since, as you can tell, 2005. In addition to all the stuff that this Lisp routine loads for us in the beginning, I have it set this variable right here, ints units. Alright, it's the same as if you come here to AutoCAD and type ints units. We want that to be 0. What that controls is what designation this is. Alright, so we want this to always be unitless, and by making that change in our ACAD Lisp routine to automatically set it, every time you start AutoCAD, that variable is automatically set. And hopefully with the AEC DWG setup already done the first time for the user, those settings are in effect, and our users will work like they always have. That's the plan. I may come back with a version 3 that says forget everything in versions 1 and 2, but I reserve that right. This is the way that we're going with right now. Until next time.